Hey guys, welcome back to week 11 of the NFL season, kicking off your Thursday right before the games with some franchise tagged. We're going to get into it just as we always do, starting off with our pick'ems from last week. And Elijah is laughing at the nickname Pastronaut right now as he types it down.
Yep.
But
No, that's great.
to kick off the pick'ems from last week, I went on two streaks. I got the first pick right with the Panthers Bears, was feeling real good going into Sunday. Then I missed 5 straight, and then I hit the rest of them. I hit every single game in the late window and Sunday night and Monday night. I hit all of them. So I squeaked out an 8-6 record this week. So I was positive, and that gives me overall an 87-63 record. And my lock on the Cowboys was a glaring success.
Hold on. Am I bugging out here? I am bugging out here. Okay. Cut that.
Everybody, Elijah is indeed bugging out here. Heard it here first.
I'm mad bugging out right now. Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Oh no, I'm not cutting any of that out.
You piece of shit. In regards to my picks, I also went streaking, not nearly to the level of success, but I did manage to get the first 2 games correct. Yeah, I predicted the overseas matchup, all because I know that the Patriots aren't good, and the denier among us.
Now hold on, because I didn't say
Yeah,
that. I didn't say they were good.
You just know.
I know they're
No,
not good.
you
I'm
just-
just delusional in
yeah.
the fact that I think they might be able to pull out games where they let the
Delusional. Yes.
You know, when you hold the team to 10 points, you
might
feel like
think
you're
that you
doing
have
pretty
some
good.
going.
But unfortunately,
You know-
it's the Patriots, and
First thing we'll talk about as soon as I get through my pick'ems is going to be the whole QB controversy. So, yeah, I got my first 2 games right, missed the next 4, had one little one in the middle there. Titans lost the Buccaneers outrageous fashion, and then I made on a streak of 4 and got the primetime games wrong to go 7-7. So now I'm standing at a 94-56 record, but my pick'em hit. So I'm happy about my 7-3 pick'ems.
Lux. I just want to flex so hard that I got the Raiders right, and then I called the Broncos beating the Bills. Because I remember when I said Broncos beat the Bills, I was like, nobody's ever going to agree with me. Not a single person will. And I saw whatever panel Adam Rank is on, he picked the Broncos over the Chiefs a few weeks back and got that right, and every single other person in that room picked the Chiefs. He did it again going into the Bills game, and he was the only one to pick the Broncos going over the Bills. And he got that right. So basically what I'm trying to say is I'm actually just Adam Rank.
Nice. You actually just copy everything.
I actually am just...
Isn't he a Bears fan? Pretty sure he's a Bears
We're
fan.
basically the
Every
same
season-
person.
Every season when his thing comes out of like him grading the whole season, it's like the Bears are double-digit wins. No one believes him.
We can get into the QB stuff in the Patriots if you would like to.
Yeah, immediately I just want to know what your thoughts are on that whole fourth quarter disaster.
Now look, I'm all
it was
for
a whole game, but it was a fourth quarter disaster.
I'm all for running the fake spike, getting your fun plays out there, catching the defense off guard, but throwing it into quadruple coverage with a backup quarterback doesn't seem like the smartest game plan, Bill, or whoever the hell is calling the plays there. Not Belichick. O'Brien? Is that who's calling the play? I think it's Bill O'Brien calling the plays right now.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So let's next time, Bill, try not throwing into triple coverage with Bailey
That
Zappi.
was pretty outrageous throw to do. Yeah.
Dude, like, just...
What was the thinking there? Like, obviously, it's a fake spike. They probably got like 2, maybe 3 guys running out in routes.
No.
One of them's got... What?
The fake spike worked because the fake spike is there to make the D-line not immediately rush, so it gives the quarterback some time. The DBs typically react right away to the pass. Maybe the receivers get a step on them. But when you don't have good receivers and you don't have a talented quarterback, why do you expect your quarterback to be able to fit it in a window between 3 defenders for your receiver to catch it when neither of those players are good. And then you had Gesicki wide open underneath, but of course you're going for the big shot on a fake spike, so you're not going to throw it to Gesicki. And it was abysmal. I watched one play of that game because I woke up late, and that was the play I watched.
And the end zone pick by Mac, which led to his Zappy going in.
Blow the team up. Get rid of everybody. Cut everybody.
Dude.
Just go through the rest of the season. Pick up a janitor. Just have a janitor go throw the ball. They'll do better. You know what? Put me out there.
Gesicki's name, and it just like the image flashed in my mind of Gesicki's like nameplate and how open he was to just get that throw.
I'm convinced that I could do a better job throwing than either of the Patriots quarterbacks. I am delusional, but I think I could do it. Put me out there, I'll make better decisions.
Yeah, I think the better decision would be tucking.
Throwing it underneath to the open tight end that is on a small out route. Just check it down. It's not hard. He's open. There's nobody near him. Just get it to him. It's not fourth down. You don't have to throw it deep. Just get the first down, guys. Come on. I'm done being a Patriots fan. I can't do it anymore. I can't take this shit. I can't do it. It's so terrible. And then we're going to go into the offseason, and Bill Belichick is going to draft some guard out of UT Chattanooga again at number 2 overall, and we're just going to be done for the rest of the year. If we have a top 2 pick and we don't land Caleb Williams, Drake May, or Marvin Harrison Jr., if we don't land one of those 3,
you're checked out.
I'm done. I will retire from being a Patriots fan. I will burn my Patriots Tom Brady jersey. I will burn everything Patriots I own, and I will become a Jaguars fan because I like Trevor Lawrence.
Nice, because they did so good this week.
Oh, they did.
You wouldn't be happy, Jay.
That's okay.
I do want to point out just one last thing on the Patriots game is that there's 30 seconds left and you're on your own 40-yard line and you're faking the spike. Like, just take the spike. I know you're not getting yards easy, but it's still a close game. Just stop the clock.
Yeah. When they lined up for the spike, I was like, what if they fake it? And then they actually did, and I was like, wow, yeah. All right. This isn't Madden, guys. You don't have 95 overalls at every single position. You've got a 62 overall quarterback and 70 overall receivers at best. So,
all right.
Can we not talk about the Patriots anymore? I'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, we can move on past that. Yeah,
appreciate it. Well, we were talking about the Jags a little bit.
Okay,
So the 49ers are absolutely back. That was a masterclass by them. Kyle Juszczyk had a touchdown. Shout out. And shout out to Juice. And CMC's touchdown streak came to an end. So there's that. He didn't break the record.
I didn't know there was a record on the table, but that's
I think the 17th game, that game would have broken the record. And instead it was ended at 16.
On the flip side of that, 49ers was a 3-point performance by the Jags. And I think we're far enough into the season to kind of discuss how not only were we wrong about Justin Fields, but Trevor Lawrence is not there yet. On the year, Trevor Lawrence has 2,100 yards, 9 TDs, 6 interceptions, and is 16th in the league with QBR of 55.7. I'm not going to base it off of the one game. It's just that statistically, it's not doing too hot. And granted, 2 of the picks were against that top defense.
I was just going to say,
so it's going to be, besides this game, it was 9-4 and like 2,000 yards-ish. A little under that. But still not a great, stat for middle of the year kind of stats.
I think
what we were thinking was a top 5 kind of guy.
I think I was overestimating Calvin Ridley is what I was doing, and the impact that he would have. Because if he
did the same with DJ Moore.
Yeah, but DJ Moore has at least.
Good, but it's not it's not as much Justin Fields himself as we thought.
Yeah, but I mean, I if Calvin Ridley had returned to form, been like a top 10 receiver again, like he had been before the suspension, then I think Trevor Lawrence has some easier passes. He has some more open receivers. The pressure is taken off of Christian Kirk to perform. And so I think, I mean, Kirk's doing well, but it is a disappointment of a season from the Jaguars, but I don't think I'd put it all on T-Law.
I'm just saying I don't think it was the level any of us expected.
Yeah.
That much is certain.
Speaking of returning to form, though, Kyler Murray came back and looked the exact same as he did right before the ACL tear. Scrambling out of the pocket, getting loose, ran a read option in for a touchdown. Just a really good performance in a victory that was an upset, but I don't really think it was an upset. I think probably more people expected.
The Falcons have been, the Falcons have not been good. It's just an upset because of the record. But when you consider it's a Kyler-led Cardinals, it's a whole different story.
Yeah. And then
one thing I do want to say on that game for Kyler specifically is like the throws he was making late in the game where he's like full speed sprinting and just like uncorks the most accurate, like perfect ball to exactly who it needs to go to is just impressive. It wasn't a great game despite, I'd say, like the fourth quarter performance from him, but it was like, hey, he needs to get back in the rhythm of it, basically. So and then Taylor Heineke got hurt at the end. That was not the most like, league shattering thing, but I did think it was interesting to see Desmond Ridder go back out there after being benched.
Yeah. I definitely think Kyler's right back to where he was, but his stats didn't look great in that game.
Yeah.
But the eye test, he passed the eye test for sure. He didn't pass the box score test, but he looked elusive, he looked mobile, and that was like the biggest concern is he still going to be able to move after an ACL? And I'm glad that he is, because
it's it real quick.
The league is more fun when he's good. You wanted to talk about the Bears-Panthers game, and we just kind of skipped right past it. So if you want to talk about the
the Thursday night game kind of got overlooked,
as it should.
It was a snooze. I mean, and you have a team
Al Michaels
that is 1-8. You're not a fan of Al Michaels?
Oh, and
I'd rather listen to him than the Monday Night Football.
He's going on the return, and he's got the punter to beat, and the punter didn't make the tackle, and that's he's in, That was his commentary during the punt return touchdown.
Yeah, he doesn't bring much energy.
There's no energy. He drains energy from it.
I like whenever there's not stuff going on, which, hey, it's the Panthers-Bears game on Thursday Night Football. There was not stuff going on. So besides that one, there was nothing else exciting to have him drone on over.
I just wish that he would have been excited when an extremely exciting play happened. You see enough, 5-10 punt return touchdowns a year on a good year for punt return touchdowns? And you're not going to be excited when one happens. You're going to say, oh, and Gill can't get him, and he's going to walk in. It's like, did you have money on no punt return touchdowns this week, Al?
He's actually
he's actually just a chronic gambler and had $20,000 on there not being a punt return touchdown, thinking that he would make back $20 on that bet, and he just lost $20,000.
He actually bet like a $1 million for the payout of $20.
Jameis came in. That was fun. I like seeing Jameis. I don't care if he wasn't that good. I like seeing him play. There was a tweet during the game, and it was just Jameis comes in and Olave immediately puts up 20 fantasy points. And with Carr, he was averaging before Jameis came in, he had like 6 or 7, and Jameis comes in and immediately he's up to 20. So
yeah, Jameis sold on the game, but he didn't look bad when he like it wasn't crunch time. When it was like, okay, you got to make these throws. You can't mess this up, Jameis. He was like, what year was that? Was that 2018? He
30
went
for
straight
30.
back to 2018. Yeah, just pure throw it up. I don't got LASIK done yet, and he was right there again.
F it, there's a contested catch down there somewhere.
Oh man.
Also,
on the flip side of that game, we got
Josh fucking Dobbs.
Not himself.
I will say, my comparing him to Geno Smith has aged way better than I thought it would. Even though I kind of did it like not necessarily saying he was as good as Geno, but not even joking. I was just not comparing their actual performance. I was like, these are guys that were just career backups and then come in and are starting caliber now. But no, he's good. He's extremely good. And I was higher on him than most, and I will continue to talk about how I was like, this trade's great.
Higher than them on most.
and now everybody's kind of on the Josh Dobbs bandwagon.
I mean, we spoke about it like, hey, this might be the first time he starts a full year, and then it's like, oh, actually we're gonna go with the other guy. Oh, actually that guy got hurt, and so then it just fell right in his lap. Like, what we expected actually happened, but through the weirdest little convoluted route.
Yeah, and he's not gonna start a full season, unfortunately. Yeah. Because of the Jaren Hall started his one game, even though he only lasted like half a drive. But
yeah, another thing, bouncing back to the Saints, Jameson Winston. That's not his name.
Jameson Winston is not his name, but that's
no,
okay.
Unfortunately. Did you see the crossfield touchdown?
The one F it. There's a contested catch down there somewhere.
Yeah. The one to A.T. Perry. That was
okay.
A.T. Perry's a rookie.
Who the fuck throws it up to A.T. Perry? Who? First of all, who is A.T. Perry? Second of all, why are you throwing up a bomb to A.T. Perry?
A.T. Perry is a baller, all right, from Wake Forest.
Whoa,
I'm aware of
A.T. Perry.
I was aware of A.T. Perry. I was like, I want this guy to go somewhere that I can care about. And then he went to the Saints, and I was like, terrible. He was picked in the 6th round, but he's 6'5", so he's the exact guy you want to just...
Okay.
Hey, there's a contested catch down there somewhere. But that was just a fun play to watch. It was a great catch by him.
Terrible decision by Jameis to throw that.
Oh, it was like, oh, he's wide open, but I'm throwing it with the most air under it you can put for like a 15-yard touchdown pass. Oh man. Moving on.
We can go to the Cowboys game and how out of hand that got, how quickly. Because that was my lock, and I checked it at halftime, and I was like, okay, so that's a lock. That's good.
Yeah, you're good.
The Giants suck. The Giants fucking suck.
Yeah.
Also,
at this point, taking a lock against the Giants might just be the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. Also, Tony Pollard did not score. Tony Pollard was on a team that dropped 42, and he put up a whopping 5.5 fantasy points, 55 rushing yards, no receptions, no touchdowns, nothing aside from his 55 rushing yards.
I mean, Rico Dowdle.
I was just going to say, when you got a guy like Rico Dowdle on your team, why are you throwing it to Tony Pollard?
Dowdle's got a whole touchdown, bro.
Oh my God, bro.
I mean, it's the Tommy DeVito-led Giants.
Yeah, you're not expecting him to do anything, but I mean, what was it? They got outscored by the Cowboys like 89.
Outgained the yards.
No. Outscored over the two games.
Oh, the two.
By like 89-3 or something like that. That's not possible because they put up more than 3 this game. But
yeah, it's like 89-27, maybe. When else in the year have they played? And what was the
89-17? 89-17. They outscored the Giants.
Oh goodness.
That's just the Cowboys, mind you. Just the Cowboys.
Yeah. And then what was the yardage comparison? I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Dude, I swear I looked at those total yards and I was like, dude, they've got 80. It must be early in the first quarter. No, it's the fourth.
Yeah, it was like Uh, Final stats were 640 yards to 172 yards.
Yeah.
And it was like, I saw this, I think it was since like 1960 or something like that. Like most difference in yards per team. It's like, of course, the Cowboys con. I don't want them.
Course.
I don't want them getting no success, but of course they. I mean, I guess Madden is kind of realistic. Let's cut some slack.
We got the whole Jack Jones situation as well to talk about.
Enlighten me.
Yeah, so he had the gun charge, right? That was over the summer or like earlier in the season, whatever, where he tried to check a gun or bring a gun in a checked bag or something like that, and he got arrested for that. And then he's just had some character concerns, and apparently the story goes that they said fix your attitude this week or you're done. He did not fix his attitude, and so he was done. He was an older draft pick. I think he was like 24 when he got drafted, so he was like on the older end of draft picks, and he's a good player, just poor attitude. Allegedly got signed to the Raiders, which they love poor attitudes, so we'll see how that goes there. But this is a new Raiders. This is a new Raiders. Just the same attitudes, but new Raiders.
Another little caveat on top of the Raiders claiming him off of waivers is that Antonio Pierce was his high school coach.
Ooh, maybe he just wanted to be on the Raiders. Also, what the hell is it with the Raiders just taking Patriots? Like the Raiders were the Patriots until they got rid of McDaniels. But I mean, I think it was like 13 players. I think it was like 13 players from the Raiders are former Patriots, or something crazy like that. Or it's just nuts. If we want to get back to the games, we can talk about
that to the Raiders game.
Yeah, we can do that. I don't
because that was another bad one.
Yeah, the Jets. Yeah. See, you have written down that Tyler Conklin was playing defense on the Hail Mary try, and he didn't help the catch, but I don't think he didn't particularly bat it out. He just went for the ball.
No, he went for it with one arm, and then it hit his hand. And then he doesn't even look at the ball as it comes down. He looks behind him at Garrett Wilson. Did you catch it? Hit your hand. What do you think he's got it for?
Yeah. I mean, that was just that was an abysmal primetime game to watch, dude. That was terrible. Really, get the Jets off primetime.
Terrible. Besides the ending of the Bills game, this was a really bad primetime slate if you count international games too.
Dude, the Jets didn't score a touchdown. Nobody scored a touchdown through 3 quarters. It was the 4th quarter before we saw a touchdown scored. Granted, first play of the 4th quarter maybe, but still, regardless, we went 3 quarters without a touchdown scored. The Jets kicked 4 field goals, and it was just a terrible, terrible experience to watch. I regret watching that one. I think it was Josh Jacobs, right?
No, it was Meyer.
Yeah, he head topped the man. Yeah.
First play of the second play.
Whatever. Immediately after the 4th quarter started, there was a touchdown. But regardless, terrible, terrible game. If we're taking a step back, I guess you can talk about the shootout in SoFi, because I did not watch that game, but
man, that game off rip was just pedal. I was thinking oh wow, we're really outpacing them. I think that we might have this, and then they just immediately came back, and I was like, this isn't good. Early on in the game, I feel like this always happens. I feel like it's probably happened 3 to 4 times already in the snaps he gets, but Jamo had a touchdown called back off a penalty of Taylor Decker low block chop block kind of thing when he didn't even make contact with the guy's leg. Like the defender saw him coming and saw him chop, and then saw the play going the other way and just kind of like moved out of it, but they threw that flag anyways. I'm not mad about the touch notification, but it's like, wow, that's a soft call.
I mean,
but yeah, outside of that, like interception, we were getting pressure on Justin Herbert early, and then it just felt like in the second quarter everyone just went like hands off. But second half, after halftime, the drive progression goes like this: punt by the Lions, touchdown, 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 field goal by the Lions to win it. It was, all gas, no brakes the entire time. The box score kind of speaks to that. It's with Justin Herbert throwing 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick. Jared Goff threw 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. We had Montgomery with 116 rush yards, Jahmyr Gibbs with 77, 2 touchdowns. Like, we were laying the smackdown, and Monty's numbers are inflated by 75 yard down run. Yeah, and Amon-Ra had a freaking day with 8 catches for 156 yards, a touchdown. I believe he got a rush in there, or a couple of them for like third down conversions. Hell of a game. Keenan Allen whooped, like, it felt like nothing we did to defend him. But we had linebackers on him a couple times. I'm like, why is this being allowed to happen?
Yeah.
Because he's just destroying us. He got targeted 14 times, 11 catches, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I saw something about the Lions running game, and it was like, yes, just as we expected. David Montgomery carrying them in from 75 yards out, and Jahmyr Gibbs getting the red zone touches. And it's like, it's a bit backwards, but hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah, in the post game thing, David Montgomery said I had to channel my inner jaw for that 75 yards. All in all, great game to watch. And the 4th and 2, go for it when we were in field goal range, I could not have been happier about, because we kicked that field goal and leave them a minute 30. They were scoring. Mm-hmm. We were not. No defense was stopping anything that second half.
Yeah. We can talk about the Texans game a bit after, some great receiver performances from Keenan and Amon-Ra. Then we got Noah Brown going for 170 and Tank Dell getting himself a nice little game. Nico Collins was out, and I was like, a Tank Dell masterclass time, right? Nah, Noah Brown masterclass time is more like it. Also, you give CJ Stroud a game-winning drive, he's winning the game. It's a foregone conclusion now. There is no such thing as a failed game-winning drive from CJ Stroud. He's the greatest greatest player ever on a game-winning drive. Is like
most clutch.
Give me prime Tom Brady. Nah, give me rookie season CJ Stroud. All right. He's
I'm trying to find it right now. Where?
He's been extremely good.
Sorry.
He's been extremely efficient. He did throw a pick this game, which sucks, but he had that 14-1 ratio before that, which is absurd. And
Crazy.
then he threw what? 2 touchdowns this game? 3?
1, just 1.
Oh, just 1.
356 yards.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they handed the ball to freaking Devin Singletary 30 times.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy
that they handed it to Singletary 30 times, and he actually racked up that many yards, and they had a great passing game off of it as well.
Yeah, the Texans are a fun team to watch. It's a little surprising that their defense is so lackluster with DeMeco Ryans as head coach, but man,
but they didn't have much challenge there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, through just 9 games, he already has game-winning drives. So I'm thinking he might be a dog. I don't know about.
He may in fact have that dog in him. We are not sure yet.
He might just have a dog in him.
Further X-rays must occur, but we have preliminary conclusion of that dog in him has been reached. It's the other thing is that he's kind of in the MVP conversation. I don't know if any big networks are talking about it, but
MVP is a weird little one right now because it feels like no one's in it.
it feels like
For,
Lamar.
two guys.
Lamar doesn't have the touchdowns, and he threw a couple picks this game. I mean, through the hands of his receivers and tipped maybe, but still interceptions on his record. And then he went a few games without being responsible for a touchdown, even though he was playing very efficient football and the Ravens were winning. Mm-hmm. It was on the back of the running game getting him into the end zone. So I feel like he's the only guy that's legitimately in the conversation. Mahomes will be in there for name. Joe Burrow will be in there for name. And I mean,
Lamar, Tua, and Jalen Hurts. Those are the ones that are betting favorites.
Yeah. And Tua, we gotta see him again against somebody that's not the Chiefs and somewhere that's not Germany. And mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like even then, if he wins MVP, it's going to be an asterisk, and it's just going to be like, yeah, he had Tyreek, and A-Chain and Waddle and whoever the hell else he's got on that team.
Tyreek goes ahead and gets the MVP himself. But,
that's also a possibility. A receiver MVP would be dope, but I feel like we'd need Tua injured for that to happen, and then Tyreek to still put up those numbers.
Fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's out already.
Mm-hmm.
He served his time.
Yeah. And then
all right.
The last thing we got from this week really is that the Bills fired their offensive coordinator this morning.
Yep.
And
breaking news.
And then this morning being Tuesday morning, obviously not Thursday morning.
Yes.
And then the thing that cost them the game was, I mean, yeah, the defensive penalty, but their offense wasn't there. It wasn't as good as it should have been. Josh Allen
was not good against a Broncos defense, which has not been the best at actually stopping teams.
They have been recently, I will say.
Yeah, recently, but when you're the Bills, you would hope that you can overcome a pretty leaning bottom defense, but
I think what happened is a switch flipped and the Broncos realized, hey, we're actually supposed to be good, and so now they're good. I don't think it's like the Broncos are bad and they're just getting lucky. I think they are actually just returning to form. Because they
just got confidence now.
Something like that.
Chiefs win.
Yeah. But I predicted that game. I said the Broncos were going to win it. I didn't think it was going to be as close as it was. I also thought the Bills were going to win it, so
I'm going to give the Broncos some props, and you had picked the Broncos, and I thought about it, and I took my lock off the Bills, so thanks for that. The Broncos, they pulled it off once, and then it failed the second time. But the rushed field goal unit was pretty pristine the first time they came out. That was some quick work.
Yeah.
They did. So props to the special teams coordinator on that one, because that was impressive.
Yeah.
When they actually got that kickoff, I was like, oh wow.
I watched.
They lined up and kicked it with 20 seconds.
I watched one.
They tried to.
I watched one play of that game, and it was well, I guess I watched two plays, but I turned it on at the very end to watch the field goal attempt. Also, Matt, stop saying you've won the game. Stop it. You've done it twice now. Stop it. He's literally called the game over. It was different games, but he's called the games over twice. It is twice notably that he's been like, oh, this field goal's going in. That's game. And they miss it. It's been the two times that he's called the game. It's gone the opposite way. And he said, oh, that's over. And I looked at it and I was like, they haven't kicked it yet. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to fucking miss it. And I saw Russ kneel the ball, and then I saw the team immediately run onto the field and set up, and I was like, I watched the kick miss, and I was like, Matt, you are so nearly dense. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. That explains the group chat. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the order of events, what was going on at the time.
Yeah.
And then his reaction after jinxing him, he's like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude.
Maybe if you don't watch the games, Matt. Maybe then.
Maybe if you stop calling the games over.
Pretty much, yeah.
We got a fun little segment in here before we get into our standard issue of the end of the episode stuff. or winding down the episode, I guess. We got a fun little segment of the best players by each number. We're going to be going 1 through 10 this episode, 11 through 20 next, and so on through till we're done with it. And this is going to be pretty fun. So I've got my list of guys, and I know you're going to be kind of looking at it as we go. But
yeah, I think I am going to preface this a little bit with, I'm not trying to go like all-time career, because that kind of limits it. I'm just kind of, because if we go, oh, who's the best one wearing number 1, and then there's like, oh, there's this many players, but this guy's been in the league 3 years longer than the others. Like, yeah, he's going to have better stats, but it's just kind of like impact of the game right now, this year, last year, recent history, basically.
I'm going straight off who is better at this very moment. Who would I rather have?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
That's
not even like who's been better, but like who do I want right now? And that's not like factoring in, oh well, who do I want right now for the future? It's who do I if I'm playing a game right now, this is the game, it's the only game that matters. Who am I putting on the field?
Game. Not like a thing for us to really pay attention to now, but it's fun to see what kind of lineups we could create using the players we end up picking here. So
yeah,
I think I might be making a list of our picks throughout.
Okay.
We can see when that would work in.
So for number 1, I've got 4 guys that I think are kind of close to the top, and then 1 that's my pick. And so my 4 guys are Tua, Jalen Hurts, Jamar Chase, and Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, those are the same guys that I've got. I just made it a 5th. I started listing some up to 5, and I had Kyler on there as well. But yeah, those are the main 4 guys.
You cut out when you said the name.
Kyler.
Okay, Kyler. I did see him, but I don't think. I mean, coming off an ACL, there are players I'd rather have.
Yeah, he's the 5th best of those. Like,
mine were not listed in any particular order, and my number one is I picked Sauce. I'm taking Sauce over Jamar, over Jalen Hurts, and over Tua. We kind of had this discussion a couple of weeks ago about Tua and Jalen Hurts and their situations and how they're being helped by their teams. And I think DB is one of the most difficult positions to play, and it's one of the most individually judgeable.
I also rule out the quarterbacks for this one, and not because like they're not as good, but because I feel quarterback play is super dependent on other factors. And so you have Tua, who has an extremely great group, and we have Jalen, who has an extremely great group. And so when, as you said, DB, I mean, we got Sauce Island going right now. And so I kind of ended up with it being Jamar or Sauce. And I'm going to go with Sauce because of all the reasons you just said. Like, it's harder to stay at top, of the line corner for long. Cough on Gilmore, but
Gilly, hold on. Give him his respect. He was really good in Buffalo before he went to New England, and then he was locked down in New England in that system and won depoy, and so he was good for like 5-6 years. So that was a good run.
That's fair. I was thinking more of his defensive player of the year and then the drop off after that.
Yeah. He won his depoy at his peak and then just got older. But anywho, I think the only knock I really have on Jamar is the fact that he's been so wishy-washy this year. And in recent weeks, he's been more consistent, but even like this week or like last week, he just wasn't all that. Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I think there was like a week where he had like 4 catches for 40 yards, and that was it.
This week he did good. He had 5 catches for like 124 and a touchdown. So he did good this week. But he goes where Joe Burrow takes him, and so that's like another thing where it's like, okay, that's dependent on quarterback play because he did worse when Joe Burrow was doing worse. Sauce, he's immune to that kind of knock.
Yeah. Next up, number 2, I had 3 guys written down: Patrick Surtain, Darius Slay, and DJ Moore. Those were my 3.
That's a good 3.
It's more of an honorable mention to DJ Moore, I'm going to be honest, but he is very good. I don't think he's quite on the Pat Surtain, Darius Slay level, but he's good for sure.
Yeah. I would definitely also limit it to those 2 guys. Amari Cooper's another like honorable mention, another wide receiver honorable mention there. I think we both know where we're gonna go with this one, though.
Yeah, I'm taking Sertan.
Yeah, I mean, Sertan is kind of in the same boat of Jamar, where this season he's had ups and downs, and their defense as a whole is being worse.
Mm-hmm.
So while I could see, like, okay, right now, Darius's, like, contribution, like, actually, I might just switch it up. I might just be a nice little contrarian here and go with Darius over the PS2.
My only
Because I
issue,
do like PS2.
my
But
only issue is that Darius Slay is in a really good defensive system, and he's on a really good defense. And Pat Surtain has been pretty good on a defense that has been pretty not so good this year. And so if the defense is struggling, obviously his stats are going to look a little worse, and that kind of goes against what I said about corners being the like single judge. But I feel like the Broncos run a little bit more zone and a little bit more like team defense, to where they don't have like standout all stars all the time. And I feel like going forward, I think Pat Surtain definitely, and I maybe I'm just undervaluing Darius Slay. It's very possible, but I haven't really watched either of them this year that much, and just off name value, I feel like I'm putting Surtain up there. But if you want to go Slay, I'd go Slay.
yeah, I will still go Slay, but here are some stats comparing. I'm just going to give you like the gap between it. So Chan has allowed 6% less completion percentage. He has allowed 70 less yards, give or take a little bit. Chan on average gives up 2 yards more per catch. He has allowed the same amount of touchdowns, has allowed a 3 higher QBR rating, and has missed. So missed tackles is a weird little stat, but missed tackle percentage, where he is
Where he's
6%.
what? One more time, you cut out.
Patrick Surtain has half of Darius Slay's percentage of missed tackles, 6% to Slay's 12. So I'll take Slay, just so we actually have some. Yeah, so we have some variation here.
Okay. And then for number 3, I've got 3 guys written down. It's definitely down to 2, but it's really down to 1. So here I've got Derwin James, Jesse Bates, and Russ. And Russ is there as kind of like is he there? But he's been better this year than he was last year, for sure. And I wanted to just kind of throw him up there because of the kind of the legacy and like his name and everything. But I'm down to Derwin on this one. I don't think there's a number 3 better than Derwin James.
All right, so I've got a handful here that I think could kind of argue for that, and I'm looking at Tank Dell. No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out Tank Dell though.
And I think Russ has kind of come back. I don't like very much as you. Maybe it's just I always see him against the Chiefs, and usually the Chargers aren't doing too hot against the Chiefs.
The only clip I know of him against the Chiefs is where he picks up and spears Travis Kelce. So I'm gonna just kind of veto
WWE
that.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
I have a nice little special teamer I'm going to throw out there of Jack Fox of the Lions.
I don't care. Punters, no. I don't care.
Hey, I got to pick someone, man. I don't like Derwin as much as you.
Give me... Derwin's the best safety in the league. What the fuck?
That seems like a lot. I bet if I look at how Derwin James is doing this year, I would not argue he's in that conversation.
Justin Simmons and Derwin James are like
Bates.
the 2.
Jesse Bates also wears number 3.
That I mentioned him. I said him by name next to Derwin. And I said I'd take Derwin over him.
That's
Minka might be a little bit better actually than Derwin. I might take Minka, but from a lot of Huh? No. I'm just talking safeties right now.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't think there's a safety that you can definitively say is like 1,000% better than Derwin James. He's always in that kind of top safety conversation. And the other guys to wear number 3 just aren't, like, they don't wow me. So.
All right. Well, if you're making me not pick Jack Fox as a meme, I'll pick Jesse Bates.
Okay. Let me pull it up again and just make sure. Yeah, I mean,
Budabake is there, but I think we're pretty safe in saying that Budabake is not that guy.
No, not compared to what's his name, Derwin James. And yeah, the rest of them are just kind of, they're just kind of lackluster. Jordan Whitehead's had a really good year this year, but I'll still take Derwin over him. And then at number 4, this one's unfortunate, but I got Dak at number 4.
Yeah, I think.
Shout out,
list and
honorable mention, shout out DJ Reed, though. He's the other side of the Jets secondary and pretty good.
Oh, true.
But
DJ Reed is
I'll still take Dak. I mean, a good corner 2 or a borderline elite quarterback coming off of a fucking electric game. Like,
yeah, we can't really not say Dak after that.
Notable CB2 versus quarterback who just beat a team 49 to 14, was it?
Yeah, 17.
Yeah. Okay. And then number 5, it's another one where it's kind of like number 3, where there's not really like a runaway favorite for me. T. Higgins for sure up there, and then my pick, Jalen Ramsey. I don't know exactly how he's done this year, and he's coming off an injury, but I still think I'd take Jalen Ramsey just to be a menacing name on the field, if nothing else.
I mean, didn't just like come back. He's got 2 games under his belt. I mean, he's got 2 games under his belt, and he's already got a pick. So there's that.
Was that one against the Patriots or
game log? Is against yep.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh my God. Honorable mention, Divine Diablo. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. I think I'd still take Jalen Ramsey, but absolutely an honorable mention to Divine Diablo. I also saw Kayvon Thibodeau and Anthony Richardson on here. I think
AR hasn't been healthy enough to judge.
And Thibodeau is good this year, but I still think I'd take a couple guys over him.
Yeah, we've also got you said T. There's David Montgomery. I feel like we're heavily favoring corners because I'm also. You look at this list and it's like, okay, Jalen Ramsey stands out.
I think it's just because the best corners were the single-digit numbers.
Yeah, we promise we won't be picking.
I will say that's the last corner. That's the last corner I have on this list through 10.
Yeah.
If that spoils anything, I think it does. But yeah, I've got Jalen Ramsey at 5. Number 6 is very interesting. Honorable mention to JOK, Jeremiah Usu-Koramoah. He's a very big part of the Browns defense and their strengths so far, so definitely shout out to him. And big ol' shout out to Younghoe Koo, one of the better kickers in the league. But I've got Devontae Smith in this one.
I'm looking through the list right now, and Mecole Hardman came back wearing 6. I forgot. I mean, we got Presley Harvin here, so I'm hard-pressed to not pick that guy.
Christian Gonzalez too, if he was still healthy, I think I'd have another corner on this list, but
I mean, Baker's having a good year. Can't say that Baker's not having a good year. He's got 14 touchdowns, 5 ints, but it's being compared to Devontae Smith, who like way younger, doesn't have like any stigma against him,
except for that he's small.
Really good. He's the Slim Reaper.
For me, if it's not Devontae, it's JOK. If it's not JOK, then it's between Baker and Younghoe. And the only reason it's even a competition is because kicker's positional value. But
yeah, see, that's that Baker bias. But yeah, I'm with you.
Because I hate Baker Mayfield.
I'm not gonna pick Baker. I'm glad he's turning things around, but I'm not gonna be like all
oh, he's great. No.
Yeah.
Number 7. Number 7.
Mm-hmm. I'm matching your Devontae Smith.
Okay. I assumed by the lack of disagreement.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs is number 7. He's pretty good.
You think?
He's no CJ Stroud though. So I'm going CJ Stroud at number 7.
That's fun. I'm glad. I'm glad we're picking someone young here. I mean, this is a very not stacked number.
Yeah,
I mean,
is,
we got
but
Quay Walker, the man who loves to get ejected from games. Bijan, another rookie, not doing nearly as good. Brian
now,
Hoyer.
talent-wise, Bijan may be up there, maybe way up there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Usage-wise.
with current usage, I think I'll take CJ Stroud. Geno Smith, shout out, but CJ Stroud's better than him right now. Malik Willis, shout out, but you suck. And then Hassan Reddick, unironically, shout out Hassan Reddick.
Harrison Butker being here. I mean, again, positional value, CJ over Harrison Butker, but Harrison Butker, get that honorable mention from me right now.
Yeah, absolutely. On to number 8, if you agree with me on Stroud.
Yeah, agreeing on Stroud.
On to number 8, there's actually only one player I have written down here.
So
I'm scrolling through and I want to see if there's anybody to shout out.
I mean, we got a good group here. We got Marcus Mariota.
Shout out Jawan. Okay,
Mechie.
hold on. Shout out Jawan Bentley. Shout out Kirk Cousins. Javon Holland. Shout out. Actually, shout out Javon Holland. Josh Jacobs is pretty good, but I mean, come on. I'm going Lamar.
I can't believe you didn't even get to Aaron Rodgers. Come on.
Yeah. See, my issue though is even with a perfectly healthy Rodgers, I think I'm taking
with a
Lamar.
Perfectly healthy Achilles. Yeah.
Even if Rodgers hadn't gone down with the Achilles, he had played through this season and he had put up Aaron Rodgers stats, I think I'm still taking Lamar.
Yeah, you like guys with legs that run.
I do that.
Achilles.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, why else did we think so highly of Justin Fields? Come on now.
You agreeing with Lamar there?
I want to be a contrarian. I really do, but it's really hard.
Who?
Well, it's like, okay, so we got Kirk O'Chains, and we got
O'Chains is very good.
Mr. Anti-Pfizer as the options here.
I just think that I'm taking the issue is that the competition is quarterbacks, and I don't think there's many quarterbacks I'm taking over Lamar right now.
Yeah,
I think it's Mahomes.
I mean, okay,
and that might be
put it this way: 2 of the guys I just named that were number 8 that are quarterbacks are currently out for the year, more than likely, with the same injury.
Yeah.
So, I think Lamar Jackson's the only option really left in that regard because, I mean, the other options are injured, and it's not like their fault, and it's not like a knock on any level of skill that they have, but we're kind of grading it on their performance thus far.
Yeah.
And we don't got much to go off of.
Yeah. Number 9 is a very interesting one. It has Josh Dobbs listed. He wears 15, so he is not eligible because he wore 9 with the Cardinals, and he's no longer there, so he's not eligible. But shout out. Obviously, you got Joe Burrow. He's a big name on the list. And then
that's Stafford.
You have Stafford. You have Matt Judon. Shout out. Good Patriot defender. And then you have my pick.
Oh no, we have the same pick again? You're joking.
Where is he? I just had it. Where the hell is it? Justin Tucker is my pick for number 9. Yeah. We were talking about kicker positional value, but when it's arguably the greatest player of all time at his position, I think I'm going to take that. And regardless of if he has a coach that prefers going forward on every 4th down as opposed to kicking it when he's in range, and he is the greatest kicker of all time on his roster, whatever.
We went back to back
Ravens.
Yeah.
And then
Joe Burrow and Stafford are my very close seconds. Stafford, of course, has those injuries of late, so it's like you got to give Burrow the favor there. But
and then even Burrow is struggling this year, so
yeah, it's the historical factor, like what Justin Tucker is and is known for. He's such a guy.
Yeah, and then we move to 10, and 10 I think is the biggest grouping of stellar players there is.
Just straight up.
I have 4 of them.
Everywhere you look.
4 of them that I could legitimately see being number 1. Really only 3 of them, and really only 2 of them. But Cooper Kupp.
I know you got Mitchell Trubisky on that list too.
Yeah. So we got Trubisky. We got Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, D-Hop and Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And D-Hop is kind of the odd man out in that he hasn't been really, really good this season. He was good for that one game with Levis and then kind of been ever since. But still shout out D-Hop, one of the best receivers of his time. And then Justin Herbert is held back by coaching, and so I don't want to really put him in the top. And then Cooper Kupp this year was injured and came back and hasn't been the same because of Stafford injuries, obviously. But I'm taking Tyreek here, but it's a star-studded list. If Tyreek wasn't there, it'd be a very difficult decision.
I think even if you keep Tyreek there and you just like, all right, I'm going to eliminate Cooper Kupp's stats in games where Stafford wasn't the quarterback, it's again very different because they have such a chemistry that it gets him going. And Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill, they're very different wide receivers. Like, Tyreek Hill, great wide receiver, gets open because he's lightning fast. And then Cooper Kupp, not lightning fast, pure technician.
Yeah.
Like, they have very, not opposite games, but they have different games that you can appreciate both. I'm going to be going Tyreek Hill because the year he's having. Like, you just can't discount that. Even, I mean, Cooper Kupp injury, so he hasn't played as many games at all. Hasn't had a healthy quarterback with him. But I think that Tyreek Hill is just undeniable. At this point, you can't pick against it.
Yeah.
So,
and just to go through the names at number 10 that didn't make our top 4 but are still really good, we got Jerry Jeudy. Johnny Hecker is one of the better punters. And, you know, punter positional value, whatever. But Jerry Jeudy has been pretty good. Gardner Minshew, Brandon McManus, Isaiah Pacheco, and that kind of rounds it out. But
good pop Pacheco.
Yeah. So, really good list of players to wear number 10. I like our picks. We've agreed on basically every one of them except for number 2, where it was Pat Surtain or Darius Slay, who are essentially the same player.
Yeah,
So,
2 and 3, where I went Jesse Bates, you
true.
went Darren James, and then Slay in PS2. But besides that, really similar on all our picks. It's mostly because when it comes down to like 2 to 3 guys, some of them are injured, and so you can't favor them too much because they haven't been able to do much recently.
Yeah. I think that is about it for that little fun segment, and we can go on to...
you can catch us next week with 11 to 20.
That one will, I think, have a little bit more time to prepare with and
get through it a little faster.
Yeah. I don't really have any bingo updates. I don't know if you do or not. I don't really.
Yeah, just all of mine becoming increasingly less likely. Commanders winning their division, 3 AFC East teams making playoffs. You know, stuff of that nature.
We might have one.
Yep.
Honestly, I think do you want to make any stock moves this week? Because I don't.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to be holding on the Cardinals despite the massive increase. You know, might as well hold on that because they could only look up from here. Texans and Bengals, I mean, I set myself up to fail with them playing each other, but yeah, I think I set up everything for the long run.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is I'm like, I want these stocks that I have right now. I want to hold them for like 3 to 4 weeks. Plus, I just bought them all. I sold everything, bought everything new. So anything that I would sell would be a day trade, and I don't like that. So I think we can move straight into the pick'ems if you are okay with that. Where I will kick us off this week. And Thursday night, we have such a good game. Oh my God. Thank God. Because we just came off of, let's see how long it's been since the last good one.
I really hope it lives up to it.
Probably Broncos Chiefs week 6 was the last good game. Maybe not even that one. Maybe Lions Chiefs week 1. Like, we've just had weak ass Thursday night games. And this one is...
Here's Commanders was one too, bro.
Titans Steelers was a Thursday night game. What the hell, man? But yeah, this week it's Bengals at Ravens. Both teams coming off a tough loss. and both division rivals, AFC North. In situations like this, I favor the home team, and that's what I'm doing here. I don't think one of them is just definitively better than the other. I think the Bengals are too wishy-washy and too hit or miss for me to ever really bet on them. And I think that in division games, especially, being at home really helps you. You have the crowd behind you, and the crowd really cares about those divisional rivalries. So, Bengal just uploaded a Riverside Royals episode, so that's great. Shout out Bengal. So I'm taking the Ravens at home in this one. Then next up, we got Cowboys at Panthers. I'll take the ever hot Cowboys to beat the ever cold Panthers. Steelers at Browns. God, I hope the Browns can win this one, just because I want to see the Steelers crumble and fall. Bears at Lions. I think we've both got the Lions here. I don't think that anybody's losing to them right now, least of all the Bears. Maybe if Fields comes back, he takes it for 60 again.
It was probably longer than that, if I'm being honest.
And then we got Chargers at Packers. Battle of some mid. I'll take the Chargers. Cardinals at Texans. I'll take the Texans. Titans at Jaguars. Look,
please,
bad game all you want. I'm taking the Jags. Raiders at Dolphins. I mean,
Titans didn't do good.
Yeah. Raiders at Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins. The Raiders have been good. I'm happy that they have a new coach and a new GM, and that their coach is good and that the players care. It's the Dolphins. They're going to get smoked. Then Giants at Commanders. The Giants are the worst team in the NFL, despite their record. And so I will be taking the Commanders in this one. If the Giants win that, I will eat my sock. And then Buccaneers at 49ers.
Set yourself up to fail there, bro. Stakes are too high.
I almost just said I was going to eat the 49ers, but I'll take the 49ers in their matchup with the Bucs at home. Jets at Bills. The Jets won that matchup in week 1. I got the Bills winning in week 2, in their second game. Despite the Bills not really being that good, I think the Jets are even more not that good. And then Seahawks at Rams. I'm always high on the Seahawks for whatever reason, so I'll take them. Vikings at Broncos. I'll take the Pastronaut and Vikings going against the Broncos, who just beat the Bills on Sunday night. That game is going to be. And then a Super Bowl rematch for Monday Night Football. Eagles at Chiefs. And I've got the same outcome that happened in the Super Bowl. I'll be taking the Chiefs in that one. Actually,
real quick,
yeah, I'll take the Chiefs.
The Rams are probably going to start Carson Wentz.
Let me change my lock to the Seahawks, actually. No. My lock, I didn't say it. My lock is on the 49ers over the Bucs. That is a team that I have not locked before. So we're keeping that streak alive.
Nice. Always glad to see a streak keep going. I never pre-plan my locks until I get the feel of the games when we're walking through them. So I'm really at a loss on which one I'm going to end up doing. I got to do some finagling to see which teams are applicable for me. But going through mine, very similar to yours.
I was going to say, actually, real quick.
But
somebody's got to break the streak eventually. And if breaking the streak, or if not breaking the streak means you're picking a team that's probably going to lose, I'd say just break the streak.
Nope. I'll keep those. I will gamble with the streak as opposed to be safe and pick the team I like more and not. All right, let's go through this. For myself, my Week 11 predictions. Thursday Night Football, Bengals, Rams.
Ravens.
My bad. Bengals, Ravens. I really hope it's a fun game, because if it's another just terrible
Joe Burrow shit the bed,
time.
Lamar get hurt. You froze.
Please, just have scoring. I'm going to be picking the Bengals here. Now, I might come to regret that, because I just picked the Bengals and then they let me down. But, fingers crossed. I really hope that their defense doesn't get embarrassed, because that would suck. But I also have the Cowboys. I have the Browns winning. I have the Lions, shocker. The Chargers going and beating up the Packers because I love to see it. I have the Texans beating the Cardinals, the Jags beating the Titans, Dolphins beating Raiders, Commanders beating Giants, 49ers beating Bucks, Bills beating the Jets, and then the Seahawks beating the Rams. Broncos are going to win at home over the Vikings. And then I also have the Eagles beating the Chiefs. So once again, we have disagreed on the Sunday night and Monday night predictions. And it's not looking great for me with what happened last week, but I will stick with
See,
it.
I'm actually like what I was about to say at the very end was, let me change it to the Eagles beating the Chiefs, but it's Chiefs at home and they're coming off a bye, and hopefully,
Both are.
oh, they're both coming. I still like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. And then the other thing that I wanted to say was with the Vikings and Broncos. The reason I picked the Broncos last week is because the Bills had a very obvious fault, and that was Josh Allen's interceptions and his turnovers. And the Vikings might be getting Justin Jefferson back this week. They have a quarterback
Ooh,
who's
I didn't think
playing
about that.
at his the highest of his career, which in the future won't be the highest because he'll be an astronaut in space. But that was awful. I might cut that. Probably not though.
Too much editing work.
Yeah, way too much. I like making as little work for myself as I can. I don't know. I like how hot the Vikings are right now and how hot Josh Dobbs is right now. And I just don't see the Broncos beating them. They're a good team. They're strong. They showed that, but they didn't win decisively against the Bills, which is what I thought they were going to do against a team that makes mistakes, because their offense has been their strong point. And so my thought going into last week was, well, if their defense can be strong against a team that is mistake and injury and turnover prone, then their offense can just continue to dominate as it has. And then their offense didn't dominate. And I was like, okay, so what are we doing? We going back to last year? Or and so I don't know. I like the Vikings in that one. I think that those two games, again, the ones we disagree on, are going to be really good games. And actually, we have disagreed on all the primetime games this week because you picked Bengals over Ravens.
Ooh, yeah.
So we have agreed on every single game except for the primetime ones, and
Nice
that will be fun.
to watch along to, yeah.
Yeah.
For my lock of the week, I found some good applicants. All right, so I found the Browns beating the Steelers as a pretty good lock there.
The Steelers
And I
just
also
manage to
found,
win games, though. I don't know how they do it, but they just do.
well, so here's my other option: is the Cowboys over the Panthers. But you know who the Cowboys lost to?
The
That I'm
Cardinals.
really, yeah, and that
But
wasn't this Kyler-led Cardinals. That was
no,
the
I'd
great.
I'd probably lock the Cowboys over the Panthers if I didn't lock them last week. So
Yeah,
that's what I'll say. I don't think the Panthers are the same team that the
no,
Cardinals were. I think the Cardinals were actually good. They just were not quite good enough to compete with the teams they were playing.
yeah, and another factor is that the Browns and Steelers is a divisional game, so those are always just real gritty till the end,
Yeah,
usually, unless
yeah.
it's just not fun from the start for one of them. Giants. But I think I'll go tight. Um, I'll go ahead and pick the winning from that matchup and lock the Cowboys over the Panthers with my fingers ever so crossed that they lose.
Yeah, anytime I lock the Cowboys, I'm like, well, I hope it's wrong, but boy, it's easy.
Mhm.
Yeah, this week of games, I'm hoping I hit a couple more correct ones early on. I feel like all season, if we add up like my record of the last 5 games or the last 6 games, I'd have like an absurdly high success rate. Because
Yeah, I feel
outside
like
of
also,
outside of
yeah,
the week that
if
we both did really poorly,
mhm,
I've been just stellar in the afternoon games. Like
yeah,
my pick record, freaking week 9 was Bears Saints onward. I hit every single one of them. This week it was Falcons Cardinals onward. I hit every single one of them. And I mean, I don't know.
you win in streaks. Like you have so many just straight line
Yeah,
boxes down, and I do not. But I still have a better overall record. ever so slightly. So
Oh, damn,
at
you don't
least,
have those. Well, you do in week 6. But yeah, not anywhere
yeah.
near
But
the
I
level
mean,
I
look how
do.
many fully.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
like I've gone 12-4, and I have not hit a streak as big as yours.
Yeah. My best week
You're
was
just
11-5, I think. Yeah, it was week 8. Well, anywho, I think we've rambled on about our pick'ems for long enough.
yeah.
So,
We're gushing enough.
yep. As always, thank y'all for watching. Tune in next week to see us react to how poorly our pick'ems go, as always. And for 11 through 20, the best numbers or best players to wear
Yes.
each number. We
Currently
shall
in the NFL, because we can't just say that.
best.
Why
best
isn't
pla-
Warren Moon on your list?
Yeah. Anywho,
And there it goes, off the rails.
off the rails. Warren Moon. One other thing.
Warren
gonna
Moon's up
say.
there with the Pastronaut, my guy.
Yeah.
They're
The
hanging
moon
out.
and the pasture. Join our Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Links right down below in the description.
Yeah, go talk trash in a Discord, and maybe we'll respond.
Let us
Maybe it'll just
know.
hurt my feelings.
Let us know in the comments. Give us your best players for numbers 11 through 20, and if there's anybody that actually does that, then we'll go through those and tell you how stupid you are.
Compare.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's all I got. You got anything for the people?
No, I think we sufficiently have rambled on and had it collapse enough at the outro for it to be an outro.
Later, guys.
Love this. Bye.